Hey, Dawg Pound! There's been some news that's been making waves around the web lately, and we're going to break it down in detail, so hit that like button. You won't want to miss it, especially with so much drama unfolding in the Browns world right now. Let's talk about Dorian Thompson-Robinson and the big questions surrounding the quarterback position. Analysts and insiders are weighing in, and it's clear that the Browns have some critical decisions ahead of them. First, let's address what's been said about DTR. Analyst Adam Gerstenhaber didn't hold back, saying there's no sign that he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. All he can do is trip the ball and dunk it down the field. Harsh words, but is he wrong? Thompson-Robinson has struggled with decision-making and accuracy, and while he's young, those are areas that need to improve if he wants to remain in the conversation for a starting position. Now, let's be fair. It's hard to evaluate any quarterback when the offense has been plagued by injuries and a shaky running game all season. Plus, the Browns' schedule isn't doing them any favors. Facing the Bengals, Dolphins, and Ravens to close out the year is a challenge. Still, the reality is this: Cleveland needs answers at quarterback, and fast. This offseason, the Browns are expected to shake things up, and one intriguing option is Justin Fields. Insider Mary Kay Cabot believes Fields, an Ohio State product, could be a top target for Cleveland. Fields offers dual-threat capabilities, something this regime seems to value. If the Browns decide to lean into a run-heavy attack, Fields could be a perfect fit. But that's not the only scenario. There's also the possibility of drafting and developing a new quarterback. It's a risky move, but it could provide the long-term stability this franchise desperately needs. Either way, the QB decision will likely define the 2025 season and potentially the future of players like Myles Garrett in Cleveland. The quarterback position isn't the only thing under the microscope. Let's talk about the offensive coaching staff. NFL insider Albert Breer recently speculated that Kevin Stefanski could resume play-calling duties next season. While offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey has brought some spark to the offense since taking over, the overall lack of consistency has been frustrating for fans and analysts alike. Breer points out that Stefanski's play calling has led the Browns to the playoffs twice. If the team brings in a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, who Stefanski has worked with successfully before, it might make sense for him to return to calling plays. On the other hand, if the Browns opt for a more unconventional quarterback, they could stick with Dorsey or look for someone new to maximize the offense's potential. One thing is for sure, the pressure on this regime to deliver in 2025 will be immense. The decisions made this offseason, at quarterback, on the coaching staff and across the roster, will shape the future of this franchise. All right, Dawg Pound, it's your turn. What do you think? Should the Browns stick with Dorian Thompson-Robinson for another season, or is it time to move on? What about the potential of bringing in Justin Fields or another veteran quarterback? Do you trust Stefanski to call plays again, or should the team continue exploring new options? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Browns fans, we have some drama brewing with none other than our star defensive tackle, Myles Garrett. Last week, Garrett dropped a bombshell during a press conference, saying he would consider exploring other options if the Browns decide to rebuild next year. That's right, Garrett, the face of our defense and one of the most dominant players in the league, is putting the Browns on notice. This statement has shocked the Browns community, especially since Garrett spent all 8 years of his NFL career in a Cleveland uniform. This is the first time we've heard him openly discuss what could make him leave the team, and it's raising a lot of eyebrows, none more so than Browns legend Hanford Dixon. On his latest episode of the Hanford Dixon Show, the former player admitted he was shocked by Garrett's comments. Dixon said, "I was a little shocked by the statement he made, talking about giving the Browns a warning, get your shit together. I don't want to go through a rebuild." Now, let's put that into perspective. Myles Garrett has been nothing short of a beast on the field. Dixon even pointed out that Garrett is constantly being double and triple teamed on almost every play, but he still finds ways to dominate. And let's not forget the milestone Garrett just reached. Against the Bengals last week, he recorded his 100th career sack, becoming the youngest player to do so. Only legends like Reggie White and TJ would have reached that milestone faster. For his career, Garrett has racked up 346 tackles, 100.5 sacks, 20 forced fumbles, 17 pass deflections, and 6 fumble recoveries. Numbers like those put him in a league of his own. So, what's next for Garrett and the Browns? His comments make one thing clear: he's tired of losing seasons and the idea of starting from scratch. If the Browns want to keep their defensive cornerstone happy, they need to show they're serious about building a contender, now, not later. All right, Dawg Pound, it's your turn. Were you as shocked as Hanford Dixon by Garrett's comments? Do you think the Browns can convince him to stay if they avoid a rebuild, or are we looking at a future without number 95 on the roster? Myles Garrett, the face of our defense and one of the league's best pass rushers, has made it clear he's not here for a rebuild. If this is where the Browns are headed, Garrett could seriously consider moving on. This news comes via a report from Mary Kay Cabot, one of the most respected voices in Cleveland sports. According to Cabot, Garrett's patience is wearing thin, and he's ready to explore his options if the Browns can't prove they're serious about competing for a Super Bowl next year. Here's what Cabot had to say. He's going to need to see and know that they're making a playoff push and trying to make a Super Bowl. If they can't say that next year, then he's really going to explore his options. Let's face it, Dawg Pound. The Browns have some serious work to do. This season hasn't exactly screamed Super Bowl contender. Deshaun Watson's massive contract is eating up cap space, making it hard to bring in the kind of talent we need to take the next step. And Garrett? He's in his prime, already cementing his legacy with 100 career sacks and elite play week in and week out. This guy deserves a shot at a championship, and he knows it. The question is, can the Browns convince him that Cleveland is where he'll get that shot? If they want to keep Garrett, the front office will need to lay out a clear plan for success, one that shows they're committed to winning now. That could mean big changes at quarterback or elsewhere. It's a tough road ahead, but it's not impossible with the right moves and maybe a little luck. But let's not sugarcoat it. Losing Garrett would be a gut punch for this franchise. It would be another chapter in a story that's already seen too many disappointments. The clock is ticking, and the Browns need to get this right. Now it's your turn, Dawg Pound. What do you think? Can the Browns pull it together and convince Garrett to stay, or are we looking at a future without our defensive superstar? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow Browns fans, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Browns!